What is up, guys? Welcome to a brand new video. Today we are going to check out a new Corki build that is being played a ton more in the past week. This, by the way, has brought Corki from basically one of the worst win rates in the game to top 5 so far in the few days of 619. That's not too bad. So when I looked through replays and stuff, I noticed a ton more Corki, and when I looked into it, they were all using this build. But anyway, let me know what you think of it. Like it if you do, dislike it if you don't, but let's get started. And if you can remember a few months ago, probably like 6 months ago actually, Corki used to be meta. He was literally everywhere, but he just got nerf after nerf, and the new Triforce was changed as well. I looked and it was actually 6 nerfs in a row. That's pretty harsh. The problem as well he's always had was his build. Like, nothing was amazing on him apart from Triforce, and that got changed. The saving grace was I could use my big package to like roam around and just like snowball other lanes. I probably shouldn't have said that. Using Corki's package, I could roam and snowball other lanes and be a constant global threat, but even that got nerfed. The reason nothing really worked though was because his abilities are a massive mix of magic and AD. Like, honestly, you would do more magic than AD in a game, and that's pretty hard to build for. His autos deal 50% magic, 50% AD. His Q is magic damage, but again, 50% AD and 50% AP ratios. His E is mixed. His ultimate is magic, but with ratios for both. The point is, it's hard to build both AD and AP and magic or armor pen in the same game. Anyway, so this build actually fixes that in some way. If our entire kit is a mix of both, why not get items that are a mix as well? This is what the new build looks like anyway. So Triforce first, then Sork boots after that, so the magic pen boots, then Hextech Gunblade. After that, you can get a choice between Mortimer Mortius, Rapid Fire Cannon, Infinity Edge, Void Staff, Bloodthirster, depending on what you need for the game. Triforce is still going to be standard even after the changes to it, just kind of too good to pass up, I guess. Corki's damage comes from abilities and auto attacks, so cooldown reduction is still very good on him. If I bring up the stats actually for Triforce, there's nothing really wasted, which is rare and super good, but the new addition to the build that makes this like is the Gunblade. This is a disgusting part. There's 3 main parts of it. So the stats, the 40 AD and 80 AP, the heal for all damage dealt. It's not lifesteal, it's not spell vamp for all damage, and the active is 250 plus 30% AP, plus it also slows them. Now all 3 of these are amazing for Corki. So the AD AP is great because they work together. Like, as an example, his Q is a 50% AD and AP ratio, right? So both of them actually increase the damage of it. The healing is not lifesteal, it's not spell vamp, it's actually healing for all damage, so magic, physical, or even true damage. This, by the way, is insane. Like, it might not sound like it, but lifesteal and spell vamp kind of suck on Corki because your damage is mixed, so your autos are only half AD. Having this as total is just crazy, plus it means your abilities and poke like heal you as well. The active gives us more burst. Like, you're kind of a hybrid auto attack and burst champion, but early especially it's going to be the burst that actually carries the fight. If we think about it, your Q does 250 damage rank 5 plus ratios, by the way. With Gunblade and Triforce, you're looking at like 325 damage just from a Q. Your auto with Sheen, your Hextech is going to be roughly like 275 damage on the active. That's about 800 damage in a second at least, not counting any other abilities. It's really a perfect item for him, but it just makes his mid game so powerful, and that's really where he shines, I think. It increases his burst, his sustained damage, and even gives him some utility and healing as well. The rest of the build comes down to what you really need, but here are the most common ones and what I've been using recently. So Hex Drinker or more of Mount Mortius. Hex Drinker is for like hard lanes. You'd actually get this as your first item or after the Phage or Sheen, and then don't finish it until your third item. In one of my games recently, I got a Phage, then I got a Hex Drinker against a Fizz, and he couldn't kill me anymore, even though he was actually ahead of me. Rapid Fire Cannon is this long range auto, right, which is nice, plus adds more burst into your combo, but it gives you some attack speed and some crit to start actually pumping out consistent auto damage. The way you want to think about this for pretty much every champion is burst and abilities are going to carry the game early, and auto attacks start to do more with more items and later into the game. This is obviously for an AD carry or an auto attacking champion. Infinity Edge, again, AD for abilities, but crits to make autos actually hurt. This is your biggest hope against tanks, by the way. Not armor pen or magic pen, just your crits. Void Staff as well is better than Last Whisper, and I'm actually serious. So if you see a Corki get a Void Staff, please don't flame him. He's actually getting the right item. Autos do half and half. Your E does half, but your Q and your R do magic though. So overall, it's actually more magic damage than AD, even when auto attacking and with crits. So Void Staff is the pen you actually want. Bloodthirster is the last one, maybe sometimes. I guess Essence Reaver could also fall into here. More lifesteal and AD for ability damage, but I rarely get these, to be honest. So that is the build, and it's really strong at the moment, but I think that alone isn't what's leading to his jump in win rate. It's kind of the playstyle fitting into this meta more, in my opinion. So the package is where I got fed in most of my games I played this. He has good early pressure on most mid laners, to be honest, so that is a good thing as well. But your roaming is like a Talia, actually, if you want to think of it like that. You know how deadly she can be with that. Plus, it does a freaking crazy amount of damage, like the trail behind it that you leave. Most actually don't realize how much it does, including me. It's kind of like a Rumble ultimate. Like, actually, I tried to run through it the other day and I died, so I kind of found it the hard way. This does a lot of damage. Really, you're using that to cut off their escape behind them. They either have to flash over it or run through it, and then you have all of your follow-up damage as well. It's really strong. Because Corki is technically like an AD carry, I guess, you auto attack a lot, right? You can get a lot of towers after this, dragons as well, but more importantly, you just kind of help your team constantly throughout the game, so they can't really feed too hard. I'm sure they would find a way, but at least you can kind of babysit them a bit better than other champions, and I think Corki snowballs harder than most because of how much ability damage he does and how good items are increasing the damage of them as well. Getting your Triforce and Gunblade, by the way, is a huge boost in power, and it really does make a difference. Once you have those two completed, you can run around and kill so many different people with your burst. They don't expect it. So runes masteries that most people are using look like this. Runes 80 reds, armor yellows, magic resist blues, and either 80 quints or attack speed. I think technically 80 would be more damage if you want to take them for your quints, but I've been using attack speed and it's fine, honestly, so either work. Masteries 12, 18 with Thunderlords and more burst damage, and you can proc it really easily by pressing E and just letting that damage do it, which is kind of a nice trade in the lane phase. Now, if you're going to try this, then this is a little game plan for you guys to follow, and it gives you an idea of what to focus on and to kind of take all of this information and actually win with it. So early game, you want to focus on farming and completing your Triforce as soon as possible. This is when you get really strong. Your base damage is okay, but like Triforce kind of takes it to another level. Deciding which parts of the Triforce to get first. Sheen is more damage, Fades is kind of less damage but defense as well, so it depends what you need. You can actually harass well early too, but you're mana hungry, and remember you're only going to have one potion, whereas most other mid laners will have two with the Doran's Ring. If you trade badly, it's going to mean that you only have one pot to recover, but they can trade badly twice and recover twice with 2 pots. Auto plus Q combo is a lot of damage and your main way to trade, but when you get your Sheen, this actually changes to Q first and then auto afterwards, so you apply the Sheen damage on the auto. You want to poke with your ultimate rockets and Q basically until they're low enough to kill. That's kind of how you play a Corki lane. Now mid game is when it gets really important. You actually actively move around the map. It's roam time with your package. Every time it's up, you want to use it. Don't just pick it up as well and go straight from like base to lane. You want to go kind of from an angle so you can cut off their escape behind them. This is where you can pretty much carry a game by yourself, if I'm honest, like getting your team really far ahead, but you do need to farm for your Gunblade as well. You need those 2 items as soon as possible. You do need to remember that your mid game is your strongest point, so later you will struggle to get through loads of magic resist and armor, but this early they aren't likely to have both, which means you do a lot of damage. Late game, it kind of depends on how fed you are, really. Like in my opinion, if you're fed, you play like a normal AD carry and just hit whoever is in front of you, you're still going to do decent damage even to tanks. If you aren't fed though, then it kind of changes a little bit, but this is a bit harder to do. Your damage on the carries is what you really bring to the table. I think like they have very little armor and magic resist, so your damage still does a lot to them. You want to aim your rockets at them from your ultimate and also aim your Q at them through a fight, but your auto attacks still normally go to the tank, and please, by the way, use your E on the tank in front of you. Even if you don't kill them, just activate it. Your AD carry will do a lot more damage to them with that armor reduced, and so will you. So that's pretty much the new Corki in a nutshell. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of the build, and if you try it, remember to tweet me and let me know how it goes. Thank you guys for watching. If you're still here, have an awesome weekend, but for now, let's go to the robots.